Morning, everyone. My name is Ace. I like drawing. We're learning 3D modeling to use as reference for a webcomic that I am creating. All I have to do is design the characters. That's what we're doing today. We're designing 3 out of 6 so I can start the prologue, okay? We're working on red topology still. I think I got just the arms left. And then we're going to start designing the clothing, okay? It's just going to be basically it's the same kind of U.S. Army uniform. I'm designing some soldiers. Okay, they're going to be the first people that appear in the comic. I'm doing the character development by order of appearance, so expect that. All right, and we're going to get started here. Just got to do some extra stuff with my stream here. You know what I'm gonna do? Oh wait, oh, I want to do that. Sorry about that. Just want to lift this a little bit. Okay. Sorry, just doing some sound stuff. I don't know what's going on here with this bit rate. Why does this say my bit rate is stable? I started noticing that just now. You know, I was playing Monster Hunter Wilds yesterday, and um, I see that the bit it's not great for my bit rate. I don't know what it is. I raised it, but now it says it's unstable, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. But anyways, we are gonna start this. It wasn't really noticeable on retro games and of course on Blender here. I've seen a lot of videos, but I didn't actually watch any of the Monster Hunter Wilds videos until yesterday, and I mean, from the little bit I've seen, you know, it's like a little, you know, I'm looking at it through a minimized window, so it looked fine. But then, you know, when you because I don't send my video directly to YouTube. I do that manually. So when I download my video, I did it through Firefox, and Firefox kind of opens a new tab with the video on it, and it's blown up. And I had my frames drop yesterday, so it started in the middle. Like I had to merge the two videos together and started. And when I got the second half of the video, I was already in game, and I saw how it looked. The quality wasn't as good as I'd hoped it would be. So I I adjusted the bit rate for next time. Okay. And now it says the bit rate's good. I don't know what's going on anymore. Every time I think something is okay, it's not. And every time I say something's not okay, it is. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe it was just site. Maybe it's just on the site end. I don't know. But in any case, I did raise the bit rate. This is what we have right now. We did the leg. I got to do the leg after our last week's art streams. I managed to complete that. I'm just trying to make this as straight as possible. As you can see, we still have some things to fix here. I didn't get to adjust any of these. Right now, we're just trying to make sure that it makes, there's like even. This retopology is actually the best retopology I've ever done. I would say, I mean, I would show you my previous retopology, but I've done that before, and I don't want to really make that a. Well, you know what? Who cares? You know what? Yeah, here, let me just show you let me show you an example here. Yeah, this one here. This is the previous mesh that we've done. Okay. Give me a second to adjust it. Okay, this is our guy here. This is what we're going to do. This is going to be our next step here, is creating the clothing. Once we're done with the body retopology, then we got to do the retopology for the clothing. And of course, it's got his load bearing equipment here. We're going to put more detail into the clothing and whatnot. I had it here, but I made some mistakes, and in order to recover the progress, I had to sacrifice what I had done. Okay. I sculpted on the wrong side of the I didn't flip the normals. I forgot to flip the normals. this happened while I was on hiatus from streaming, and I had to spend some extra time fixing what I had done, so I didn't get to stream as much or stream as early as I wanted. Okay, let's see here. Mesh, brow extra, hair extra. Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, we'll just leave the rest of it. Actually, no, we'll take that off too. This is what we are doing as soon as I get into object mode. Let's see, body, edit. Okay, this is the retopology that I've been doing. All right, more or less, it's this. Okay, you can see there's some obvious sloppiness here. All right, and we're trying to avoid doing that. My goal is to do every mesh I do. I want to try to make it better than the last mesh I did. Okay. So we really didn't follow the form at all. We tried to do it around here because I think I did start with the edge loops here, but then I kind of just said screw it and just like covered the whole thing. And this is what happens when you do that. You get a lot of mistakes that you try to correct. We're going to be doing seams soon too. You know, there's a lot more mistakes here, and we're going to avoid doing that in the future. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm loading what we're working on today, of course. And I'll try to center myself here because sometimes I center and I lean back and it's not centered anymore. Okay. And see, it's much more cleaner here. Of course, when we do our final retopology, it'll probably be more dense, but for the most part, it's definitely an improvement over what we've been doing. The foot area, I'm going to leave like this because I wanted to keep the thing of the detail of the toenails here. Okay, that's probably one thing that we need to fix, but this guy's feet won't be showing and he'll have boots on anyway. So, but definitely for the next time, I need to improve that. We're not going to do the hands that way. I can tell you that right now. But I had to do it this way because I wanted it small enough to where I could keep the details of what I did in the front toes here. So we're going to, 1 second. All right. Getting together I didn't really follow a reference for this. So, you know, I should probably just redo that. I might actually do that. I might actually redo it because I do have a reference for feet and I couldn't follow it because my reference, I didn't follow it the entire way for this. It's kind of my own thing here. And basically all we have to do is just continue to extend these all the way down to the wrist. So we are going to do that. Let's see. All right, so we're just gonna move it. This is really tedious stuff here. I didn't get a chance to finish this, but we're gonna finish it today. Okay. I didn't want to go too fast because I wanted to lock in my workflow for the next steps via my notes. Okay, and I wanted to make sure that I have all my ducks in a row before I stream that because that is something that I did not show yet on stream, and I am looking forward to doing that. And just so we minimize all the mistakes that we might make here. And of course, it doesn't really stop anything. We make a lot of mistakes anyway because we are still learning. I still consider this a new skill. I've only been doing this for 3 years now. I followed a lot of tutorials, and this is the result. The only thing here is that we just need to improve retopology. We need to improve, just general refinement of the, anatomy and whatnot. But this is pretty good, compared to my last sculpts. I already had a pretty decent understanding before I started streaming this, so you didn't see it from scratch, but I mean, it didn't really you're not really missing too much of the learning process here. Uh, yeah, we'll just do that right there. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to just go around the arm here. I'm just going to make sure that everything is nice and neat. All right. Going around the bicep. That's a little bunched up here. I'm trying to get a decent view of this because we got to go around the arm. We got to go all the way around the arm here. And I have it all. I have in front checked. So when I move these, what I've done will always be in front. So it kind of makes the arm invisible a little bit. All right. Well, I hope you had a great weekend. So, it's starting a Monday out here with more art. Starting out, hopefully on a good foot, on the right track. I'm gonna try to get this done here. I'm looking at the flow of this right here. I mean, it looks fine. I mean, it just kind of bunches up right here. So I think we got some big wide ones right here. So we can definitely spread some of these edges out. Or vertices if we want to work in vertices. So I'm gonna go ahead and as soon as I get to about, I'm gonna complete this row and then I'm going to go ahead and just straighten those out. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna do another one right here, and then I'm going to switch to edges, of course. Click. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Click these, and uh-oh. That's what happens when you have more than you have the wrong edge selected. It'll connect. I don't even know how I clicked that one. I really don't know. All right. Luckily, we can just control Z that. And but if you go to, like, if you have like a low undo step like I do, and that happens, you can just select the faces and click on the faces and delete it that way. When shouldn't really affect anything. Okay, I'm going around. I'm trying to see where I can start here. I can go this way or I can go that way. It doesn't really matter. It's a cylindrical form here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start by spreading out this line right here. Just gonna spread it out a little bit. Of course, whenever all the adjustments we make here are going to affect everything else that's connected to it, so we have to kind of just adjust everything. I'm going to twist that and just keep moving it like so. Bring that down a little bit. Now we don't want to keep bunching it up. We just want to unbunch this area. So I'm just going to move it just a little bit. Twist this, move it. And just keep doing that over and over again until we have an arm, basically. That looked weird right here. See how the faces look? So that's why I turned it right there just now. But we're good. Okay, twist this, and then we're going to do that. Try to twist these, okay? Looking around, we still got some wide boys. Got some wide boys in there, so we're gonna go ahead. You know what? I don't think do this now. Well, we can do it now, but I think what I'm going to do is do more of the arm, and then once we have an arm, just adjust the whole row. Actually, you know what? No, we're just gonna keep doing it. All right, so I'm going to twist this and I'm going to go that way. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to keep going, basically. I mean, really not a lot of commentary here. I feel like a broken record. All right. All right, make sure that all the edges are visible. You can just press G to move like if they start to sink into the form, you just press G to move them, but don't actually move them. You just press G and it'll automatically snap it because we have snapping on right here. Okay. I'm going to adjust that line and press G right there. Press G right there. Oops, we twisted it the wrong way and way too much twist there. Basically, what I have to do to make this look even is just to pick a size to dress everything off of. It feels like that we've adjusted it to the point where we're not going to get a lot of space out of this anyway. Let me try adjusting this one. I'm going to try to find a halfway point with these edges here and just stick with that. Okay. Let me move this to the side here. And press G right there, of course. Start to sink in a little bit. I'm going to rotate this, move it to the center. Okay. You know, got a little itch right there, so I gotta stop for a second. Oh, what the heck that's all about? Feels better. All right. Actually, no, you know what? Let me move this one instead of that one. Press G to go down. That side looks good. So it looks like we might not get a lot out of this anyway. So the only thing we really need to do is just kind of just slide these top ones over toward the tricep. Because right now these are the widest ones. I just want to try to make them a little bit more evenly dispersed here. Press G right there. And we're going to, let me click this, twist it right there. Hang on. All right. Circling around. We're doing a little check here. We can probably move this line down across the bicep, and I think these are following the form, but I'm going to adjust them anyway. And of course, we're going to have to adjust all the other ones too because they are connected. All right. Let me move this. Oh, I press T. We don't want to press T. And we also click something else. If it's yellow, something else is selected. So just be aware of that. I'm going to move that. Okay. All right, let me move this one down. We're going to twist this. Stop pressing T. we're going to stop pressing T. We're trying to press R, but since we're not looking at it and we're subtly moving our hand, I end up pressing T. My keyboard is not on a flat surface. It's on my lap. That's normally where I keep my keyboard, right on my lap. So it's really easy to type the wrong key, especially when I'm not looking. Because even though I took a typing class, I typically don't use a keyboard and not look. I can do it, but every now and then I'll slip up because I don't practice it. I can type without looking. I just choose not to. Every now and then I'll type the wrong key because normally I can hit R and T without looking, but like I said, my hands aren't even in the right position. You got to kind of put them in a specific area when you're doing your proper typing without looking technique. But typically I just have my eyes glued down to the keyboard and I just type that way. I mean, who cares, right? Uh-oh. Okay. Twist that. All right, we're gonna move it down ever so subtly. Okay. Now let's go like this. I'm gonna twist these a little bit. Yeah, it's just really just these three here. I think I'm gonna let these go now because there's really not much more we can get out of this. The adjustments are going to be so minute that I'm not even you're probably most likely not even going to notice it unless it's pointed out to you. All right, so we can keep going. I'm going to start another row and we're just going to try our best here to keep the same width and length of the previous faces, okay? We'll be pressing F for this since we're using vertices. Press F to pay respects, I guess. I'm just going to go around. I don't want them to be slanted though, so it's easier to not do it like how I did it, at an angle. You want to do it head on, right? So you can see exactly which way they're facing. Because if you do it at an angle, then it kind of follows the form and it goes away. It's always going to be slanted in some way if you don't do it head on. Okay, all right, so we can go now. Just kind of just move the camera with it so we can see exactly what we did. I said every time you move further and further away from your line of sight, it kind of starts getting jumbled. Like if you put an edge loop, if I were to put an edge loop right now on the other side of this body from this angle, it would destroy it would destroy whatever the topology is on this side because I'm not looking at it. But if I turn it this way and then put an edge loop, it'll be straight. For everything that's out of sight or off camera, it won't do it right unless there is a way you can do it. It's just a matter of why would you want to do it that way. But if you have no choice, you can hold control and it'll place it correctly. But you should definitely turn the camera and look and see what you're doing just to be sure. Because it's gonna be sunken. It's gonna be sunken in, so you have to adjust it anyway. All right, so we're gonna keep continuing to spin around here. Oh. I'm gonna adjust these. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Adjust those. Okay. Going to adjust them. Okay, I'm gonna pan the camera that way. See, it's starting to get wide there, so we don't want that. We don't want any more wide boys. BOI, boy. What's going on here? Okay, that's fine. That's fine, I guess. Okay, now we're gonna Click that one, and now that we have an edge here, first I'm going to adjust them to make sure they're kind of on the same, they're kind of aligned somewhat. Scroll that down. I click this. Oh. I'm just going to check. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to press the button here, and I am going to just press F. Once you have an actual face here to connect to, you can just switch to edge, shift select all the edges, and then just press F, and it'll fill it. Real simple. I think that's a is that an F2 thing? It's an add-on. It's built into Blender. All you have to do is just go into edit and just activate it, really. I'm gonna save it here just because. All right, we're gonna start anywhere USA, anywhere.com. I'm gonna go back to vertices. I don't know why there's. Oh yeah, if you select an edge and you go back to vertices, there's always going to be two selected because you're selecting the edge. That's not important though. If you just go once you go to vertices, just click on the vertex that you want to manipulate. I was confused for a second because I was like, why are there two vertices selected? And I was like, oh yeah, because I was just on edges. I had an edge selected. It's not really a big deal though. It's you kind of get that. You kind of get that like locked into your brain a little bit because if you have more than one edge selected, that's not good. Okay, so then when you switch to vertices and you see two vertexes, or when you switch to vertices and you see two vertices selected, then you kind of like, oh wait, no, never mind, I'm in vertices. It doesn't really matter because we're going to click on a vertex anyway. Okay, let me just hit F. I'm just going to just keep copying, but we don't want to do it mindlessly because this surface is a little rough. You know, we're going around the tricep here. We got a bicep. It's going to dip in. It's going to pop back up. We got hills and valleys everywhere right here. All right. So we're definitely just going to do it a little bit slower and just make some minute adjustments to make sure that everything is as straight as it can be. Okay, here we go. I pressed F without having anything selected, which does nothing. Sometimes nothing is good. All right, here we go. Here we go again. Just select edge, click, click, click with shift held down, and then just hit F. And you're there. Just hit F right there. All right, we're almost done with the bicep. Gonna keep moving on here. We should be able to do something else. I don't like the way that foot looks. I just don't like it. I think we can adjust what's there. And I think I know how I can adjust it. The bottom doesn't look bad at all. It's just the top. The top looks off to me. I kind of want to do something about it. We're trying not to do sloppy work here. All right. I know that retropology is not my strong suit, but we are improving. I can see it. We just have to do better. We have to continue to do better. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to sorry, look at my reference here. But my reference is wrong. I actually have the foot. I actually have a foot here. We're going to need our hand soon because we're going to go down. There's really not much to follow here. The only thing that we're going to have to do extra, take a look at this. Okay. You see how the knee is? We're going to have to do that for the elbow. We did that on the last stream. I'm going to need that reference, actually. Okay, Okay, it's ready. I just have to zoom out and then zoom back in on my little collage of topology references that I found randomly. There is learning material in this. I think it's a book. I want to get that book. I'm going to get that book so that way we can finally have something that will help us improve. We are flying by night here, flying by the seat of our pants, but we are making improvements on our own. It's nice to have a guide when you need it, right? We started off learning from anatomy of sculptors, form of head and neck, and there was a third one, but I forget the name of it. It's all by the same author though, and that really took us very as far as getting anatomy correct, and we're still making improvements on that too. I'm doing a study sculpt. One day or one day soon, I'm gonna show it off because it's not very far behind this one. We only need to put hands and feet on it, and then we can start that red topology. And I've only been doing that like an hour every day, so our speed is improving, and the quality is too. I think, in my own opinion, I can't show it because it's a woman, and I'm making it. I'm making more. It's gonna be more accurate anatomy and some of that I can't show on Twitch. But as soon as I get some underclothes, then I'll show it. Okay. I think for the it's not for that one in particular is not for the webcomic. It's to do animation tests. So it has a slightly different purpose. But the women that we'll get to doing some of the female characters that are in my comic book. They won't have they'll be a little bit more safer to show. So I'll have to show some of the process there. We don't want to get nuked by Twitch, so I'll probably just do the breast and the butt off stream and then continue on. Or I can do it like I would do a man and then just do the breasts last and the butt off stream. But like I said, when we get to the butt, we can just do the breast, so it doesn't really matter. So just put the pectoral muscles there and then maybe just add a little bit for the form and then just like more primary shapes. Well, it's not really, I wouldn't say primary, but just more of the feminine form off stream. That's my plan anyway. But we have like a couple more sculpts to go before that right now because the beginning of my web comic is a bit of a sausage fest, admittedly. It's a story about a couple of students. They stumble upon a black um a secret government project, okay, and they try to use it to save their terminally ill friend. It starts off in 1972 in Cambodia. That's during the Vietnam era. It's not about the Vietnam War. That's just the setting, and that's why the first couple of characters I've done are wearing U.S. uniforms of that era. It starts there, but and back then, there wasn't a lot of women in the military. Maybe on the side of the enemy, but not for the U.S. So there's a lot of there's gonna be a lot of sculpting dudes before we get to to women. Okay, I don't really mind though, so it's fine. It's learning. We'll be able to do after some time doing this more and more. We'll be able to sculpt both genders pretty well. I'd say. So that'll be a nice skill to have. I know there's a lot of people who draw just one gender, a lot. That's fine too, but we want to be as versatile as possible with our skill on this channel. And hopefully I'm going to be able to show my learning process with all of that with no issues besides the general, troubleshooting and corrections and whatever I have to do, you know. It's just a way of just being more comfortable with showing off my art, basically. I know there's a lot of people who are a bit self-conscious about that. Hopefully, this will help them too if they ever come across these videos. I don't know. But but that's all right. It's helping me at least. There was a time where just if I received enough critique, I would just start over. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I gotta start over, and we train in privacy or secret, but yeah, we're gonna try to do that on stream. We're gonna try to work out all of our issues on stream with art. Hmm. It seems like it's bunching up again, but I'm going to ignore it for now. I think that's just a form thing, making it look like it's coming to a point, but we're not going to let that happen because we're actively adjusting it as we go. All right, so what I'm going to do now is we're just going to continue. We're just going to continue. Oh, we're at the elbow. We got to back all the way up on that one. Hang on, because I want to follow my reference for this. We want to make sure that I'm just getting into the habit of doing this because I do believe this is an animation thing for retopology. I have not confirmed that yet. We're working on it. We're working on testing these theories out. We don't have any official guide to go off of on this. I'm literally just looking at what I'm seeing and copying it. So that's why I'm doing the sculpt. I got another sculpt off stream for just animation, so we can work out whatever issues that we may come across in the future. Because I do want to practice animation one day on stream, and we're gonna figure out how to do it. Okay. What I need to do now is, you know what? I don't need two. I just need one for now. And we're going to delete that face. I'm gonna click edge. All right, I'm gonna scale this down. Sorry, I just ate some gas. Is developing in my system. It's a weird way to say it, isn't it? Some excess gases, fossil fuels, or I don't know what's going on now. I'm just rambling. All right, so I'm going to move this, twist this here. Okay, I'm trying to get the right size of this going here. I'm going to go to vertex select. What I'm looking for is like I want it to go to a point for this particular thing here. Okay. And I want these hang on. Yeah, I want these to go into a point like this. We just need four of them. And then it'll be a let's see, 16 or yeah, 4x4 grid, sorry, a 4x4 grid across the elbow with a border surrounding it. Basically, that's it. That's all we need. And if we follow that, we should be able to get the rest of the faces to follow that form too. All right, let me collect that. Now I'm going to work on the 4x4 grid now. We could have went around it, but I'm not going to do that. I think we can do it. I think we can do this part first and then go and then just dress off of that. But I guess we'll if it doesn't work, we'll fix it. Whatever mistakes we run into, we'll fix it. I think we have the ability to be able to do that now, so we're gonna go ahead and do it. Let's see, one, two. Okay, we need. You know what? We don't even need a 4x4 because that elbow is not that big. We really only need a what is this, a 3x4, I guess. I'm gonna do it anyway though, just so we can. Because if we do it the way that I see it here, it should work. I don't make any additional changes. We can stop right there. And we'll just leave it like that. Could probably make it just a little bit more even, I guess. Okay. Just so we know where the elbow is. Because we can technically make this all even and it won't matter, but I'm trying to, get into the habit of putting this in because I feel like it's related to animation. I have not to this day found out the purpose of doing this across the elbows. I just know that it's either a posing or an animation thing. It wasn't fully explained in anything that I've seen or heard or read. So we're just gonna have to do it ourselves here. We're gonna have to figure it out for ourselves. All right, we can wrap this around now because it should be even enough to where we won't have any issues connecting this side to the other side. I'm just gonna try to not let this get away from us. And we're going to continue to get around the arm here. Uh-oh. Okay. Looking around the arm, I don't see. Well, this we're leaving like this. I think we need to spread this one out just a little bit this way and not that way. Oh my God. Hold on, wait. We need this all in view so we can see. That's what we need here. Hmm. I mean, that's the right form. I don't want this to be too wide though, so that's why I'm trying to just adjust it. Try moving this one out that way. It's not too much wider than up here. Well, except for this one. This one is like super wide. And that's only because we have small ones here. But I think I'm just gonna leave that one alone. I'm gonna connect the side from this end here. We're gonna move toward the center of the bicep. Now they're kind of slowly pointing toward that way. We want to keep them straight. So I'm just gonna adjust them a little bit here. Is this one? Why are these longer? Is this because? Okay, I see. I don't know what happened there. I think it's because of the size of the inner ones here. We can kind of adjust those. Actually, it's a really easy fix, and that's the problem here. That's the problem that we're. That's the reason we can. If we straighten these up here, then those won't look so weird. So I'm gonna pull them up just a little bit. We can just straighten the horizontal ones just a little bit, at least up to here. We let it kind of get away from us a little bit. Let's see here. Go up, and then I'm just gonna keep adjusting upwards. just a little bit. Wait, hold on, wait. We gotta go down. We gotta go up, then we gotta go back down. What is happening here? Yeah, that's gonna be a really skinny one. Don't do that. If you double click, you'll select all the everything that's connected to that one. You don't want to do that. Not for this anyway. That'll come in handy for something else, but not for this. I'm gonna move these in a little bit. Okay, that's still outside of our little area here. Not really. I think it's because of the way we did this. It kind of affected everything a little bit, but it's fine. Once we have it all connected, we can easily adjust it. What happened here? What in the world happened here? Let's move these up. I just want to see if that kind of makes them a little bit more even if we kind of shorten these a little bit. Grab these and pull this one down. No, don't do that. Just adjusting that entire row. All right, let's connect them because this is wrangling. We're wrangling some sheep here. Okay, here we go. Let's connect them and then we can adjust them. Click these. All right, now they're full. I don't even see that form anymore. It's like a very loose form on the knee, right? I'm trying to see the knee. Like I can see it in the knee. It's only because I put it there so I can kind of see what it is. But for the elbow, not so much. I'm starting to lose the form there a little bit that we were trying to place in for the elbow. Okay, it's supposed to be 4. It's here. We're gonna keep going. I think I can just adjust it afterwards. It's an easy enough form to adjust it. Okay, let me try just connecting these together. Scoop around. Okay. Now I'm going to straighten these. I'm going to move this a little. Whoa. Move these around a little bit. Hey, little bass guy, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great morning. I'm doing great. How are you doing? We're going to finish the arm here. Just trying to make sure that we don't make any mistakes compounding each other as we go down the arm. That's pretty much it. It's just all fairly standard beyond that. I'm thinking about doing the foot again too, because it's a little weird looking. That's the one part of this retopology that I'm kind of looking at it. And I'm like, I don't know. I think I can make that look a little bit better. The bottom is fine. It's just the top. I started with when I connected the top, I started with the toes, and I was trying to make sure that I put in enough lines so that way I keep the details that I put in for the toenails. And I think I can do a better job than that. So I might revisit that while we're doing this. But otherwise, we're doing. That's a nothing issue. So yeah, we're doing fine. Doing pretty great. I think I think my bit rate was too low. My is too was too low for Monster Hunter. I didn't really notice it with Shadow Hearts or with Blender, but I raised it. I had it like at 4K bit rate. That's not when you have something with a high frame rate moving around, it kind of blur. It was my stream looked a little blurry, and I didn't really notice it until yesterday when my frames dropped, and I don't know, something happened to my connection during the stream, and that so when I was editing the two halves of the VOD together, I saw the second half just popped up, and it was during the stream, and I saw that how blurry it was, like a little blurry. I was like, I could probably fix that. Should probably fix that. I didn't really, it's not really something I noticed until I started playing Monster Hunter. So the next time I play that, I'm going to see if it worked. Even now, it says that the bit rate is unstable, and I don't understand why. I don't know if it's a me thing or if it's a on OBS it says everything is fine. There's zero drop frames, but through Twitch it's saying that the bit rate it's a unstable. It's unstable, and the bit rate is just like a red EKG line for whatever reason. It was green for a second, but not anymore. Wait, one, two, three. Okay, I'm gonna put a fourth. Oh wait, hold on, wait. Let me hit Control Z a little bit here. I want to add a fourth row of these smaller ones, and then slowly make them into big ones like we did here. We didn't do that on this side. That's kind of where the confusion is coming from here on my end, because I don't even see the form anymore. It just looks like a mistake here. We're gonna fix it. Started researching home servers that could host multiple LLMs. I've already been researching servers that could host my bots out of curiosity. But out of curiosity, I wanted to see what it would take to host my own AI models. Um well, I think if we used an array of GPUs that support NVIDIA GPUs, by the way, that support that I forget what it's called, but it's like a connection where you can utilize both of their power, but put them in an array, kind of like not unlike a Bitcoin farm. I think if you do it that way, it's gonna cost. It's gonna cost, but if you use those types of cards that can combine their abilities, yeah, SLI in an array, I think that would be a good start. It's too bad those Quattro cards don't do that, because those are more for like rendering, but I'm sure they'll work for an LLM. I actually looked into that a little bit because I was very curious about. I was like, hey, is it possible to build your own? It was back. It kind of harkens back to that old thing that I mentioned long time ago about the Lara Croft plays Tomb Raider type thing. So I was looking into that a little bit. Now that was on its own was kind of a hoax a little bit. It was very well edited, but it's not really like that. But they do have an LLM on Twitch recently that is playing Pokemon Red, and I popped into it a little bit there, and I forget what it was called. But you can see it. You can see it computing and everything, and it seems to me like it might be the real deal. But it's playing the game like really slow, and you're just looking at it like computing and thinking about what to do next, and it takes a very long time just to name a Pokemon. So it seems legit, because that if you ever used an LLM for anything, it takes a while. Even like on this computer, I tested it out just to see how it would react, and it takes about a minute for it to do something on my machine anyway. But yeah, once I realized that I'm probably going to need to invest a little bit more into doing whatever. I just wanted to see if it was possible. So I looked into it a little bit. But yes, I think that would be one way to start. Yeah, we'll skip to the end and give the short answer. It's more than I can feasibly afford, but it not just not just the upfront cost, but also the ongoing cost of electricity and internet. Yes, That's another thing there. Definitely another thing to look at. Yeah, you're gonna need money for that. If I thought, like, if I were to put any thought into it, I would switch to solar power for one. That in itself is an investment, but it's one that it'll pay for itself over time. That's where I would start. Solar power, and then like if I say I had a sudden windfall for whatever reason, I would immediately switch to solar power and then start with that. I still want to get a home server that can host my bots, but I will continue for now to access the LLMs via API. Okay, seriously, what is up with the voice to text just randomly capitalizing words? Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. It depends. If if you speak at a certain cadence, the voice to text interprets that as a break. That's my best guess. I don't know. All I have are guesses. I'm sorry. I'm not an expert in anything. I just have guesses, and that's all I can afford for right now. Even with art, it's all guesswork. But we'll get there. We'll land the plane eventually. All right. That's just how it has to be. I don't know why I'm shaking my head when I say that. The main things I need are to be able to host my Discord and Twitch bots, and I'd like to be able to host Libre Translate locally. That would let me bring back the free version of the translator. Yeah, something really powerful where people don't have to wait too long for a response would probably be convenient, to have, I would say. I mean, just having it all is great, but then eventually you're going to want to optimize it and, so on and so forth. So you might as well just start with that. At least that's where my thought process would go if I were to do that. And that would cost big. We're just trying to do the edge loops for the elbow here. I don't want these. Yeah, why do we get so many lines? I think it's just because it's bunched up. We kind of made it skinny because of the form. Kind of, yeah. We saw it before before we even got to the middle of the bicep where the edges were going. They were kind of like merging or converging on one point, which is the oh shoot, hold on, this part of the where you bend. Speed is not the issue with the translator. I'm using the cheapest and smallest open AI model, and it returns within a second or two. Oh, that's cool. The issue is that, yeah, I'm thinking when you say LLM, I'm thinking of like it's like generating something beyond what it's given, sort of. So that's where kind of speed comes in at. I don't know how it is with a translator because I've never used one for that, but if it's only taking a second or two just to translate, then that's just fine. That's yeah. Just disregard everything that I said about that. Then the issue is OpenAI is not free, and I wanted to be able to offer something for free. Plus, translation is a very lightweight task for now. Yeah, I know. I should probably read the rest of the response before I parrot what you just said. Oopsie poopsie. But yeah, it's all that. Yeah, I find that interesting. I find it very interesting. I don't really have an opinion one way or the other with the art side of it because there's a point where you reach where it's like it's really not worth going down that path, and not just from a pariah standpoint. It's just the amount of effort it takes to have an AI get something right. You already have the ability to that. You don't need it. It's gonna get something wrong, and you might as well just correct it yourself at that point. So I don't see especially for me, like for in my case, like I really I don't see the benefit of using the AI art because I could do all anything it could do. I could do it right here. It's just going to take longer. I think generating an idea, like visualizing an idea, it probably would be good for that. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, the amount of effort it would take for me to get anything worthwhile of it, I might also just create it from scratch. But for things like translation and just creating a bot, I find that part of it interesting. You know, okay, I'm looking around here at the elbow, and I'm trying to get it to look like the knee. See how the knee kind of converges and then widens again? I'm just gonna have to do it manually since I've already covered the elbow in an attempt to do it in a way. I don't even remember how I did it with the knee. I probably have to look back on my VOD and look that way. But it's since I already know what I want to do, it wouldn't take much to just make it look that way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover the elbow and I'm just gonna wrap all the way around here. I'm going to adjust these vertices here and oops and straighten them. The prompt is the key. You have to engineer your prompt in a very specific ways to get any semblance of a result that you're after. I built a web application for a camera club that uses AI to help them prep for their image competitions. The prompt alone for how to handle user data is 2 pages long. The rest of the code fits on a large index card. Interesting. Yeah, prompt is definitely the key. I would say that I feel like the model has something like I don't know, like it seems to be a universal thing, but there are some things that you can see like with the hair, rib cage, and the general lighting itself that it seems to always mess. Like not even so much the hands anymore. Like with enough effort, you could probably get the hands right, but it will always is. There's always a certain way that it does it that you can tell the difference between if it's AI or not, but because it always gets those problems wrong or gets those things wrong in some way. Especially the lighting. Lighting is like the dead giveaway for that. So what I'm gonna do is close that together like so. For example, the image competitions for this camera club allow for artistic nudity separately. It allows for portraits of children. OpenAI allows for artistic nudity and obviously has no problems with appropriate portraits of children. However, it has no context when you upload an image. So any photo containing nudity and roughly 10 to 20% of photos containing children are flagged. Yeah, yeah. Now I completely understand and agree with the reasons for these safeguards. It's better to overcompensate than to let something harmful through. Yeah, I mean, I would just say, wait, now, a web application for a camera club use AI to help them prep for their image competitions. Okay. Yeah, it's better to not create something that could be easily abused. I'm sorry, I had to read that a few times just to get to the just to make sure that I understand it correctly. All right, so we're going to try to make that space, or sorry, not that space, but that shape. However, it's a serious issue when legitimate images are being flagged because I'm charging 1,500 a year for this application. So with a great deal of training and prompt engineering, I was able to articulate that any photos containing nudity are artistic and professional in nature. I was able to reduce the failure rate to around 20 to 30%. The issue with children's portraits, there's nothing I can do about. However, the failure rate is so low, the client agreed it was negligible. Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry, to be honest. From what I've seen on just Twitch and the brief foray that I've seen with into learning about what's possible with AI, if somebody can abuse something, they will do it. Just like when when Twitch lifted, the kind of the restrictions on art briefly, they didn't people did not hesitate to push that boundary as far as they possibly could go. So I can't even imagine, what they will do if you have nudity and, children in anything. That still doesn't stop some people. There's a lot of prominent artists who kind of, they're down in that path, and I don't know. It's not. I'm not into it. Yeah, with piss and there's like yeah, there's like this one. I don't even want. I'm not even going to name this artist because I kind of know this artist, but let's just say that there is an artist that is known in the Warhammer 40K community that they got a kind of like a dark portfolio out there somewhere, and it's too bad because they have some real skill, with art, but their tastes are not for me. Okay. Yeah, and what pissed me off about that was the reason it got banned was for people not following the rule. People who follow the rule suffered because Twitch didn't want to hold those people accountable. Yeah, it was real simple. You just have to take a hardline stance on what is and what isn't artistic nudity. I was thrilled at first when they announced it because I was like, I can show my whole process. It's just a character standing in an A pose, and I just sculpt it and try to learn how to make it rigged and maybe animate it one day. But then you got people who are like, just breast to breast, freaking just is this breaking the rules? It's breaking the rules. Just dongs, everything. I'm like, well, that didn't last 2 days. It doesn't really matter to me because I was already planning on erring on the side of caution anyway, even with the restrictions lifted. So it didn't really affect me at all. I didn't really get to. I think I was still trying to prepare myself to stream. I was still setting up my computer, making sure it worked. Just getting the last bit of knowledge. Is all my process together before starting. I wanted to have some kind of grasp so that way I can show myself learning and fixing mistakes, at the very least. There were still some things I needed to figure out. So um but yeah, I was hoping that those restrictions would not be there by the time I did stream, and of course, like I said, didn't last 2 days. Same, but also much of my 3D work contains nudity. However, it is definitely not pornographic. I was excited to be able to do that on Twitch, and they yanked it back almost immediately. It took 2 days. It literally took 2 days. They did it on Wednesday, and by Friday, back to normal. I was like, oh well. It's a good thing that I didn't, I didn't get too comfortable because I didn't even start yet. I was still preparing to return to streaming. I did stream like a long time ago, but I wasn't streaming art. I was just streaming myself playing video games. I didn't have a camera, I didn't have a mic. I just stream. I literally just turned the stream on and just played. People watched it. Sometimes I would have a headset, I would talk. I would show off my builds in building games like Minecraft or Terraria, and that's about it. Really, that's really all I did. I didn't really take it too seriously. But then I was like, you know what? I want to try something different this time. Let me try doing my art because I've drawn pretty much all my life. So I was like, yeah, why don't I try doing that? I didn't start either because I saw the retraction coming a mile away. The flood of twerking streams alone was the most obvious foreboding indicator. Oh yeah, art, mature audiences, just cheeks just blasting in the screen. I was like, "Yep, this ain't gonna last." Video one. That was literally video one that I saw, by the way. Because I wasn't really looking at it too much. My friend 99, who I known in real life, he's the one who told me about it. I was like, "Oh yeah, cool. Man, that changes everything. I can actually just sculpt the entire body and then clothe it and you just show the entire process or whatever, and then I clicked on the page and I saw it, and everything was in in the in social media, the news and news articles, and by that point it was over already. I had opted to I had opted for just drawing the characters out, which I actually did. I actually drew like half of my characters out, and I was going to do more in-depth character sheets. Actually, I was doing character sheets, but I don't know. I just wasn't satisfied with the result, so I started using references, and they started coming out better. So I was like, you know what? What happens if I have like the best reference of my characters? It just completely 100% accurate references, and that's why I decided to do this. Otherwise, I probably would be I would have a comic already at this point. I finished writing this story, the entire volume, which probably equates to about 50 issues, I think, for volume one. By page count alone, I'm going by Alan Moore's standard for page count. I think it's uh what was it? What did he say? He said 216 pages per uh no, that's not right. It was, I forget the exact number, but I do remember that it equated to 50 issues, okay? Because you have like what, 20 something, 28 pages, 216 words, sorry, per issue in 28 pages. And so it would be, and just going by the word count alone, not in counting the personal annotations in my story to myself to remember to, if as I'm looking at it, to remember to do certain things like, insignias, uh just certain things that I wasn't too sure about because I'm actually writing a story that is mostly in other cultures that I don't know much about. So I put little notes in there just to make sure this is right, but not counting that stuff, it equates to about 50 issues, and I did that a couple of years ago. I've been doing my art ever since then. But during that time I was writing, it took me about 3 years to write the story. I spent a few hours on it every day. I was not drawing during that time, so I got a little rusty, and that's why I was not satisfied with the results of my art. Now it was easy to remedy that, but still, it was like I felt like something was missing. So, but that's just me being a perfectionist, and that was always something that I needed to work out of. Just accepting it. What I don't want to do though is to make the comic and then go back and update the art. I know a lot of people do that, and that's fine because if you draw something long enough, you're gonna get better at it. But I'm kind of in the realm of let's try to do it right the first time, so that way even if the does art net does naturally improve, I can go back and say, well, it was good like this too, and just leave it like that. Besides, I don't know, I mean, I had an idea to put it on a website somewhere, but with the amount of effort into putting it, why don't I just try to publish it? I'm still rolling around with that idea, so we'll see. But it is an option, especially if the quality is there. If the quality is there, then because what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a buffer, and what I'm thinking is I broke the comic down into um, parts, right? I got the prologue, and I got Act 1, 2, and 3, and then the epilogue. And I'm giving myself a buffer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create the entire prologue, and then start posting pages. Like put the entire. Well, actually, no, that's not. Make the entire prologue, and then make like most of Act 1, and then start post like put the entire prologue in, and then start posting. Hopefully daily uploads. That's my goal anyway. I know I can do it. I actually did complete a piece in one day before, but I got to be locked in for that. And we're slowly improving our speed on stream here because obviously streaming, if you're drawing, if you're an artist, you would work a lot faster off stream. But part of my goal is to be able to keep that same speed but stream as well because I want to show it. That's basically it. I think it's possible. It just takes practice, like anything. Just like everything, rather than hold the people who don't follow the rules accountable, they banned it for everyone, and legitimate artists suffered. Yeah, it was like it was literally all I had to do was just take a hard stance on certain things. Okay, but they wanted to, it was either everyone benefited or everyone suffered, and that's what they chose. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really affect me too much, but I mean, because I have like I was, I wasn't gonna go crazy with it, but it would be nice to be able to to show the entire process for someone out there who wanted to learn. There's a lot of tutorials. One day I'm going to get to a point where I can make my own tutorial, okay? And a lot of people charge for showing you how to make a human, okay? And I know there's a lot of people out there who would rather learn how to do that right off the bat rather than just start with a donut. And that's kind of an idea I've had rolling around in my head. Like if I ever get to the point where I could show you how to do it, minus the mistakes okay, that we make every day on Twitch, but just to show people how to do it, for free, that would be nice. But that'll have to be like a strictly a YouTube project. It won't be something I will be able to do on Twitch because of the people who use Twitch. Which is fine. Like I said, I'm not bitter about it. I don't really, like it was nothing that could have been done on my end. I wasn't even streaming at the time when it happened. Yeah. Swing around here. Okay, so we completely lost the plot with the elbow. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 3, 3, 6, 9, 12. We're gonna need vertexes for this. Vertis vertices. That's the plural, not vertexes. Vertexes. A virtual Texas. All right, I'm gonna follow my. I'm drawing a blank reference. Sorry. I have like different thoughts. I have like a lot of thoughts. Some of them not art related, swimming around in my head. I'm sorry. Sometimes that locks me up. I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do in the future regarding the art. Because that's kind of that came up in the discussion. Well, I brought it up. Thinking about Twitch, Twitch guidelines. Let's just clear the queue, okay? Let's clear the queue a little bit here. But yeah, this is I'm enjoying it. This is definitely like I said, I used to make comics as a kid. I just do my art streams on Discord now. Yeah, I gotta take a look at that. And that's because of the nudity, right? I saw the form, I saw the general form, but they wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me view it on my phone for whatever reason. So I'm gonna have to log into Discord on my computer and look one day. I usually don't have Discord up. Sometimes I leave it up, but usually I take it down. I gotta make my own Discord too for this stream. Apparently, that's a thing that it seems to be, people swear that it's a requirement, so I should probably look into it. I have a a uh, a personal one just for reference, like just to put everything regarding my comic into this thing that I can then reference when I'm actually doing pages. The finished piece is posted now. Okay, I'll take a look at it as soon as we come off here. As soon as we go offline here, I'll take a look at it. How much time do we have here? Because my schedule is a little bit different from pre-hiatus. That's one of the reasons why we are starting earlier than usual. And let me see. We got some time here, so we can probably finish the arm today. Is it a brand? I forgot to ask because I know you said that this character does not have a typical height. Is this a piece of Nyla, or is this a new character? I'm not happy with the lighting, but I'm really happy with the pose because I'm not very good at laying down poses. You know what? I don't think I've actually done a piece of just laying down, and that I posted on the internet. I don't think I've ever done that, like a pinup piece. Usually the character was standing in some way. I really should broaden my horizons. One day I'm gonna do that. I'll see if we can, set up a project on stream, but I don't know. I got to see how that goes. I see a lot of people do a lot of things on stream that don't seem like they would follow the guidelines, but they're doing it. But you don't want to get into the habit of I can do it too because it might not work out for you. And Twitch does not evenly enforce their guidelines, so can't exactly do a monkey see monkey do type deal on this website. We'll just have to play it by ear. It's not Nyla. She's another of my original characters, Zalea. She's the first character I textured myself. Yeah, I remember you mentioned that. It's a very nice feeling to see your characters realized in a different light. Well, I'm speaking from my experience of working in 2D and then seeing them actually in 3D and going like, yeah, whoa, we got our character in another medium. I don't know if you ever done 2D? You've done strictly 3D. I don't know if you've ever had that feeling, but even still, just seeing your creation in a 3D space is interesting. I've since gone back and done my own textures for some of my older characters like Nyla. Zalea was the first from the get go. Nice. Yeah, we got some. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to show the back end everything after red topology because we haven't not seen that on stream yet. I'm gonna make sure that we got all of our workflow finalized for that. I used to paint traditionally when I was a kid and digitally as an adult. In fact, my original foray into 3D was only to make posing and lighting See, we're in the same boat. That's exactly why I did it. I did a study of my own character. It's not tracking, is it? Okay, I did a study of my own character one day, and I was like, I can see the improvement of where I want to the art to be, but I felt like it was off. There was like there was something off about it. So I was like, okay, let's just make our own references in 3D. Because at the time I was using Dad's Studio, and when I used Dad's Studio, I was like, oh yeah, you know, it's actually turning out the way I want it. Let's go further in that direction. I hate when this camera does that. Just any kind of movement on my desk for some reason activates the auto tracking. But yeah, I haven't painted anything in real life since high. Well, actually, no, that's not true. In my last one of my previous jobs, I did a wall mural. But before that, you know, it was just high school paint, and then I went to digital. I started doing digital in 2010. Why is that like that? Okay, there we go. And we fixed it. 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, I think I know why that was like that because we were doing that, and then we completely forgot what we were doing and saw a mistake there. No, we put that there on purpose. You know what? We're just gonna. The form is there. We're just gonna straighten it. Okay, we're gonna straighten it. That's why you do the edge loops first, so this doesn't happen. It's there though. I can see it. What I need to do is just a little bit more extreme. I'm gonna try it one more time. I'm sorry. Sometimes you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, and sometimes I just don't do that. Sometimes that just doesn't happen. You got to know when to stop. Let's see. Okay, I know where it starts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's actually 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we can do it like this. Just want that shape there. I'm just arranging it in the way that we did the knees. That's all. That's all I'm doing. See how it kind of has that oval shape. Maybe not so much over here, but oh, you don't want to do that. I don't know what happened there. Oh shoot, I was looking the wrong way. We do want that there, but we want this elsewhere. I'm thinking about just making this straight and just going moving on because I'm really losing the plot here. All right, so next time we'll, you know, for the knees and the elbows, we'll just make the edge loops first. That way we don't run into this again. Doing these edge loops on the way can easily, I seem to be able to easily confuse myself on where the shapes go, and instead of just trying to fix it after the fact, I'm just going to even everything out, and it will just fix it the next time we do this. Plain and simple. And I'm just going to bring everything close. There, that's fine. I think that's an animation thing, but I'm going to fact check myself on that with my practice sculpt or my animation study scope. Really, I mean, I guess it's practice. I guess a practice scope would be a valid name for it. All right, but we're going to move on now. We spent a lot of time on that. Let's see if we can complete the arm today at least. And we're going to start another row and go around here. Uh-oh. These are really skinny. But we've already, well, never mind. See, we got a lot of space here, so we can't adjust this. We're not going to get much out of it, though. You can already tell. I'm going to take some time and adjust all the lines after I'm done with the stream when this is completed, just so there are no problems going forward. This is still the best red topology I've ever done, though. Isn't that funny? I mean, there's always something to improve, but we're all right. I'm okay with this. For the most part, everything is neat. I think I'm going to take another look at the feet, though, but I'll wait until this is completed before I do that. Got to make sure that we do something just about the top of the feet. It's really the top. Everywhere else looks fine to me, even the bottom. But I want to redo the topology on the top. I'm not going to know what is good and what isn't until we start animating these. This isn't for animation, though. This is for posing. But I'm going to take what I learned from the sculpt that I am making off stream for animation, and I'm going to apply it to what I do show going forward. But the most important thing are the face and probably the hands too, I would say. Those are the things that you're probably going to see the most of on any panel. So as long as those are good, then you shouldn't really have any problems. And of course, the rigging, we're going to have to do that. Actually, I can do that at any time. I'm actually ready to show that portion on stream. It won't be too much learning or troubleshooting there. We've done enough with Rigify that I should be able to just work out anything, even the problems that I'm having right now with the very smaller details. I should be able to just work that out on stream one day. So look forward to that in the very near future. Because if we rig one, I'm gonna rig the other two too, because they all need to be. I need to finish rigging all of them. They're not completely rigged. See, we got some slanting here. You got to look at this stuff straight on so this doesn't happen. Scooch everything up. Okay. Yeah, you can see from here, like something got to be done about this. Everything else looks fine. Okay. There's a lot of density here in the head though, but that's okay. I want that. I want it like that so we can properly manipulate it. Like I said, one of my goals here is to not have doll-faced people in the panels. Like I actually want to show them have like genuine emotions and whatnot. And a good way to do that would be to have a pretty strong reference for that. If you're not content with using like Getty Images or Shutterstock or anything like that, you can create it yourself, which is what we're doing, and we're going to make sure that we can get the ability to have some accurate emotions on our characters as they look. And I think it would be helpful to actually to still even at that point use a reference for those emotions, just to to make the character look like that, and then you can pose them any way you want after that. Control the lighting, whatever the case may be. Doesn't have to be the end all be all. You still want to, you still need to be able to have a smile that actually looks like a smile, not like a robot smiling. We don't want that. We don't want it to be uncanny valley. We want it to look like natural. And one of my other goals here is to we're going to try to get good with shape keys because that will help with the folds in the face and pretty much anywhere else too. You know, muscles flexing, whatever else you can use shape keys for. I already know how to put physics on my characters. I learned that pretty early, but we're going to take it a step further. And eventually I'll show that on the stream, show my process with that. All right, let's go down to the wrist. Okay. This is probably the most tedious thing that I've ever done regarding art. It's retopology. I can't recall doing any like intricate patterns yet. So this will be the next best thing to that, I think. We haven't stepped into hyper realism yet. I kind of I don't want to like do that for my webcomic. My webcomic is more like semi-realism. I can't even remember. Like, did I ever do any realism? Like real? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I did. I did a Bad Boys 2 poster in high school one time. That was probably one of the things. I did a real life portrait a couple times too, but the Bad Boys 2 was probably the one thing. It was the one where Will Smith has his arms outstretched with the gun, and then Martin Lawrence is behind him. I kind of, you know what? I kind of want to do that again. I was thinking about a realism piece, another Bad Boys realism piece, and I actually have an idea picked out for it. That was something that was in my old portfolio. Like, I mean, I had a portfolio in high school, just of stuff that I did and just kept it. But I don't have much of that anymore. I actually lost some of it. So I kind of want to make something similar. And since I had a Bad Boys 2 piece in my old folder, I'm gonna put a Bad Boys 1 piece in my new portfolio one of these days. Camera, stop looking at me. It's a scene at the very beginning of the movie. That's what I was planning on doing. So look for it. That'll probably be that's definitely going to be a 2D piece that I do in the future. Just cause it's just cause I had it before in my folder, so I'm just going to do it again. All right, we're going to go around. We're almost to the hand, and we should have enough time to get to right down here if I don't stop anymore. See the don't stop challenge. Let's see if we can complete that challenge, huh? All right, it's pretty much even here. Uh-oh. We held down the wrong key. I was trying to hold down shift. I was holding down control instead, which will not help us at all. That will not help us. It's getting very dense right here. I think it's because of the width of the arm is slowly, slimming down into the wrist there. I'm gonna leave it like that because it's like I said, as long as it's even, I'm not really too concerned about it. We don't have the ability to control the amount of faces based on the form yet, and I think there is a way you can do it. I just haven't really added that to my workflow. I'm gonna show you an example, I think, of what I'm talking about. Like this. This is where we want to head in this direction, okay? You see how you have more up here and then it slims down and then you have more down here, but it's done in a way, you see these are the things that you have to do in order to facilitate that. We're not there yet. I don't actually I mean, I could just copy it, but my retopology has to be exactly the same in order for me to copy this. That's why, um, as you can see, there's no resemblance. But this is what I'm talking about, okay? You know, as the forms like taper off into smaller forms, the retopology kind of follows it the same way, but you have to do it in a certain way to where it works and not like this. That's where we're headed, okay? We're going to do it. We're going to get it. I am going to get it. I just need to, you know, get the muscle memory down to figure it out. That's the goal. The same thing with the hand, as you can see. I found this on Google Images. This is one way to do it. Now you have these long ones up here, and they show you the edge loops. If you follow the green, we're not there yet. We could probably follow this. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. But these are the edge loops that you normally put in. I've done this, like the yellow one for the thumb. I've done, let's see, wrist, thumb, that, and then you put edge loops around the knuckles too. And basically just do it in a way where you can follow it. See, the only problem, see, the only, oh shoot, I can't zoom all the way out there. The only problem here with this is we don't see the other side. That's the downside to just pulling pictures off of Google. You're gonna need a real reference for that. We only got one side. If we were to do this right now, we wouldn't have the other side because I just don't have it. That's one of the reasons why I turned to 3D art, because you're not always gonna get exactly what you're looking for through Google. But I'm not gonna have that problem anymore. I just got to do this right. That's all I have to do. Once I figure out how to do these right, we'll never have that problem again. Then we can start looking at things like photography and whatnot to set up a decent scene. You know, get a nice composition in there. Um, oh my god, get a nice composition in there and some the lighting. You know, whatever we will need to set up a scene. That's basically it. Because for a good chunk of my pieces when I was learning how to do digital art, I was really just like it was a lot of guesswork and extrapolation. I don't have toys or figures anymore to follow as reference like I did when I was younger. I had an Incredible Hulk toy for muscles, you know, et cetera, et cetera. You know, it was easy to set that up under a lamp or something, figure it out from there. Other art, that's always one thing, but you know, everyone's art is not exactly accurate to real life, so that's kind of like not exactly the best way to do it, but you could do it in theory. But if they make a mistake, then you're going to make the same mistake. And just being able to recognize those mistakes will that'll go a long way for you. All right, so we're going to close this in here. I'm just making sure that this is nice and even. Pull this up. Okay, now we're going to switch back to edges, and I'm just going to click. Oops, not that one. Click these. I hit G instead. That was not what we wanted to do. We want to hit F. We got a lot of space underneath the arm, and a lot of edges on the top of the arm. So we're going to have to spread these out. I'm going to do that off stream though. We can at least make what we have even. Since there's no extra lines, it's not going to really. Before we start doing the hand though, we should probably. Well, actually, no, we can do it at any time. To be honest with you, we won't gain a lot of space. They'll still be kind of scrunched a little bit, but at least they'll be even. At least that's my understanding of what's going on here, what we're about to do. So I'm just gonna make everything. I'm just gonna make them similar in size for now, and until we get to the wrist, and see what we need to fix later or adjust. It's not really a fix; it's an adjustment. The only thing that we need to fix is the foot. Everything else can just be adjusted. to be nice and even for our retopology improvement mission here. That's where we're at. And we need to continue to go around the arm here. Hey, we probably won't get to the hand today, unfortunately. Started a little bit later. And we're going to have to stop soon here. All right. I'm going to connect these. Wait, hold on. Together. All right. Going around here, I'm looking around the arm. As long as there's nothing crazy crooked, we should be fine. There'll just be some spacing adjustments that we'll make later. Get it to about the same, and then we are going to go around. Oh, wait. We got some things we got to adjust here. And we're going around the wrist. I'm going to adjust that one. I'm going to put this down. Oops. And now we're going to close off that loop there. We got another row. Okay, let's see. I'm spinning around. That's a little too far back. Spinning around here. I'm going to unselect that. Yeah, we got to adjust these at some point. I'm not going to start at the skinny ones. I'm going to end at the skinny ones. So we're going to start at the big ones. We may have to adjust the horizontal ones too, because this last row is going to be smaller than the top rows. You know, we could do some adjustments right now, to be honest with you, just so that it's similar. It's close enough. We're going to get the close enough. I'll adjust it later. I'm going to spend whatever free time I have today later on, and we're going to make the adjustments. So that way, return tomorrow, we might have ourselves another step, a completely new step, and hopefully the retopology will be done. All right, so we're going to go around. Hey, 99, welcome to the stream. We'll be having a great morning. We are trying to get as... How was your weekend? My weekend was great. How's your weekend? I was looking at I played some Monster Hunter on stream yesterday. I realized that my bit rate was a little bit too low for that game. It's just slightly blurry when there's a lot of movement, because it's a lot of high FPS. So I upped my bit rate today, and it doesn't seem to have affected the stream negatively. So I had it at 4K. It's at 6K now. 4K is not good for any fast-paced games like that, and that'll help out later in the week when we get to our red guy blue guy deal that we're gonna do. Mine was super busy. Oh yeah, work or otherwise. We had a lot of rain yesterday. It was pouring down. Okay, let me move this, and oh, you don't want that. because it's going to snap to this side. That other side is going to snap to this side if we accidentally press G while having something on that side selected. We don't want that. We want everything on this side selected. Instead, work mostly. Oh, yeah. Understood. I know the feeling. All right, we're spinning around. We're almost there. Yeah, we kind of botched the elbow. We didn't even put the proper edge loops there, but we should be fine because our last two. I might actually fix that later. To be honest, I might just redo the entire elbow and just so we get it right. We don't have to leave it like that. We want to get it like how the knee is. The knees edge loops are there. You can see right there. They're there. We can fix that. All right. So like I said, besides some minor adjustments, everything is fine. Some minor spacing adjustments. Got our hand. Eventually we'll have the details on this currently 5K mesh that we're doing here. 5K faces. 5.4 as opposed to the what is it? I think it's 14. The high poly is at 14 right now. So that will not give us any lag when we try to render it or anything like that. Always a good thing. Oh, we got a super skinny one there. Oh, we have to take a look at that. See if we can get some more space up in here. It's the same amount of polygons. They're just scrunched together because it's the wrist that's skinnier than the shoulder and the bicep. I saw your Monster Hunter stream for a little bit. Like the sax. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's one of my favorite weapons. The hunting horn. It's like if you took Dark Knight, made it blunt. Dark Knight from 14 or 11 made it a blunt weapon, and then mixed it with Bard. That's pretty much what you get when you use a hunting horn. Just smash the monster in the face with a baseball bat, and then you blow into it at the same time, or a mallet, or a sledgehammer, whatever the case. I like we've been really going in on the gun lance, which is basically a spear with a shotgun, a shotgun filled with incendiary rounds, and then on top of that, the spear can drill into the monster and then detach itself and then explode. So there's that too. It's kind of like a drill bit, an explosive drill bit. And then of course charge blade. There's a couple of weapons I like, but those are the ones we played with so far. All right, we made it to the wrist. AW. Oh yeah, I forgot that was the thing. You know, I was looking at the evolution because it popped up in my feed. I was looking at the evolution of finishing moves across all wrestling games. Man, it was interesting to see how The Rock couldn't take his elbow pad off and throw it until like GameCube. I don't even think he was doing that on PS2. I think that was what Day of Reckoning. That was the GameCube one. I was like, man, people, you've come a long way. We've come a long way before you can actually throw articles of clothing in a video game. I was looking at that because I was wondering, is there a way we can do that? Like if I want to animate one of my characters like taking off or putting on an article of clothing, I need to look into that because I want to learn how to do that one day. So I was looking at that's I was like kind of curious about that. One of the old NES games had everyone with a suplex as the finisher. I don't remember how I played that. I remember the one where you do it was either the ear or nose pulling. I forget what that wrestling game was called. Was it just called wrestling, pro wrestling, or something like that? It wasn't like a licensed game, The first licensed game I played was it wasn't Royal Rumble, was it? No, it wasn't Royal Rumble. It was WWF Raw, I think, but for the Genesis. It had IRS in it. It had Luna, Bershon, Undertaker, uh Lex Luger, I think. It was like that game. Owen Hart, Bret Hart, it's Shawn Michaels. It had all those guys. And then the next one I played after that was the arcade game, which actually shared some of the music from the older game. Superstar Wrestling? That Royal Rumble? No, I didn't. No, it wasn't that Royal Rumble. I think the Royal Rumble was in it, but it was I didn't play that one. It was a different one. It was hang on. I'll show you. Okay, wait a minute. It actually may have been Royal Rumble. My bad. It may have been Royal Rumble. I didn't think it was. No, it was. Yeah, I was right. It was War. It was Raw as War. It was Raw as War. This one. See, look, Luna Vershon is even on the cover. Yeah, Kevin Nash was on it. Razor Ramon, Doink, Lex Luger, because most of these people appeared in the arcade game. You see, you have the same people in there, and the same exact MIDI versions of their entrance music were in this game as well. But yeah, it was Raw as War. I actually did not play Royal Rumble. I played Raw as War, but I think you can play. You can get in the Royal Rumble in Raw as War. At least I think you can. I kind of remember that. Like they kind of shared some of the same things. They had no holds barred. Royal Rumble is the only SNES Sega game with Luna. Isn't that a port? I think Raw is War is also on SNES. Pretty sure it is. Royal Rumble, Super WrestleMania. Yeah, Raw is War is on Super Nintendo. See, by LJ and they also have the same games though. I think Super WrestleMania was only on Super Nintendo though. I don't think Super WrestleMania was on Genesis. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think it was. That might have been the only one. Wait, never mind. Super WrestleMania was also on Genesis. I take that back. I'm going to recant that statement. I'm going to recant that statement, okay? They're all ports. Every last one of them. Okay, we're going to save it because we are coming up on the end of the stream. I didn't start as early as I had hoped, but this is around the time that we're gonna have to stop. I mean, I would put it on break and come back for a little bit longer, but we'll just stop it here, okay? We'll do it like this for the time being until further notice. Because my stopping time will be 12 anyway. That's only an additional hour plus a 15-minute wait. So when is the next Shadow Hearts? I was thinking about later on. If not, then tomorrow night. I can definitely do that. Matter of fact, no, yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it tomorrow night. I'm going to try to keep at it on Tuesdays for now. Tuesdays, and since we're going to be doing our red guy blue guy on Thursdays, I'm going to move my second Shadow Hearts game stream to a different day. I don't know which day yet. So I don't know. Just stay tuned. I might actually try for a Monday and Tuesday for our RPG franchise RPG slash franchise extravaganza. That's what I'm calling it. Monday and Tuesday, and then we could do a red blue guy Thursday. Schedules permitting, and then something random over the weekend. That's kind of what I'm kind of leaning towards that for right now. I work both nights. I'll try to be around for as much as I can. Okay. Um, well, like I said, I'm open to it. I mean, I'm open to changing it. I just don't know when yet. Um, I want to finish. I want to finish the content for Monster Hunter. I might once I do that, I might just move Shadow Hearts and the RPG slash our franchise extravaganza to the weekend, it might be easier to do that once I'm done with Monster Hunter, because I wanted to do Monster Hunter for a bit, so I did that. Um, but yeah, all right, we're gonna stop it here. We just got the hand left. It'll probably be done by the time I come back tomorrow. Yeah, stream scheduling is rough. It's been rough, but at least we're still doing it. I didn't want to stop completely, but I thought that was the best option. Some stuff that was going on with real life. I didn't want to tack streaming on top of that, so it took a back burner for a while, but we're working through it. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna stop it here. Okay, I want to thank everyone who stopped by the stream today. Thank you for watching the VOD if you're watching the VOD, and those of you who click on these videos on YouTube, I appreciate you as well. I'm going to come back tomorrow morning with another art stream. Hopefully, we will be working on something other than retopology, at least briefly, because it'll be clothing, and then we have to retopologize the clothing as well. All right, and we'll see. We'll see when the next Shadow Heart stream happens. I'm leaning toward tomorrow night, but we'll see. Okay. So until then, take care. Have a great rest of your day.